ultimate Ultron. Who are you? I like to watch. Whoa. You won't even know I'm here except for the soft glow of my cigarette in the corner of the room. Uatu is freaky.
Hey you dorks, this is Gunnar Hansen, Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and you are listening to The Dorkening.
Hi, I'm Brian Johnson, and although you probably accidentally stumbled across it and have no idea why you're watching it, you are in fact watching The Dorkening.
Hello, this is Tom Kenny, voice actor, the voice of the Ice King on Adventure Time. And SpongeBob SquarePants. Meow. Oh, Gary the Snail, too. Hey, guess what you're filling your eye holes and ear holes with? The Dorkening! Oh, I love the Dorkening. Very popular in Ooh. And Bikini Bottom.
Hi, I'm Lou Ferrigno. You're watching The Dorkening. And you know what? You don't like me when I get angry, so don't get me angry. You better keep watching The Dorkening.
Hey guys, this is Felissa Rose, and you're watching The Dorkening.
Hey guys, it's Courtney Palm. We're shooting Death House, and you're watching The Dorkening.
This is Anthony Michael Hall, and you're watching The Dorkening. Stay tuned. My friend's going to show you what entertainment's all about, baby.
The Dorkening.
The Dorkening and all affiliated shows are not intended for anyone under the age of 18. The following may contain discussions or scenes that have adult situations, graphic violence, nudity, strong sexual content, and graphic language. This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Rise and shine, my sinners. When Father Evil starts his day, he gets a little deadly. Deadly Grounds coffee has the richest, smoothest flavor you'll find anywhere. It's sinfully delicious. Once you go deadly, you never go back. Order yours at getdeadly.com. Coffee's so good, it's scary.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. You're watching The Dorkening. We have an awesome show scheduled for today. We're going to talk about all things that go dorking tonight. I just thought of that, and yeah. I don't know why I said that. Anyway, Brandon.
Things that go bump in the dork of the night.
There we go. But don't. I don't know. Anyway, my name's Leo. I'm the monkey behind the keyboard, and my brain is officially fried. Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna say. Anyway, Steven.
Hey, Steve.
Hello.
By the way, Steven has a discount for some merch, and that link is in the show notes along with the discount code, right?
Yep. The link for the store is in the show notes. Use the promo code RETRO at checkout, and you'll get 10% off your order. That offer ends October 31st. So.
Okay. And I was gonna say, don't bump your dork in the night, but that is.
Hey, maybe that might be how some people roll, man. So you don't like that might be one of their favorite pastimes, and they listen to you as an influencer. And they're like, oh no, like what do I do with my hands now? I mean, I'd say read a book, but that's just me.
Yeah, or read a comic book.
Oh, comic books. Those things are great.
So I need somebody that's comic book educated, and I think we have somebody here that may be comic book educated.
All right, Steve, have at it.
No.
Hard pass. Okay,
it's
all right,
guys.
Lay it on me, big dog.
Okay, no, just the whole. So we're talking about what if Ultron won. I heard you're a little disgruntled about that.
Yeah, I mean, listen. I thought the episode was great, except for one point, which actually made the entire episode not possible. And that's not coming from comic books, nothing like that. I am going strictly on what we have been told through the prism of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which, of course, now encompasses the television as well because of the streaming service Disney+. And that might be, and spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen the episode. I don't know how you found your way here or why you clicked play, but this is about to happen, so you can stop now or ruin it for yourself before you see it. But anyway, remember in Loki, when they grabbed Loki?
Yeah.
You know, the main character of the show, Loki?
Yeah.
Well, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, before the show, Loki, when's the last time we saw Loki?
Last time we saw him, or last
time we saw him all together in the movies before the show.
He died in Endgame or Infinity War.
Not the last time we saw him, though. Remember? Time heist?
The time heist.
Oh, yeah.
Gets the Tesseract, right?
Yeah.
Which leads us directly into Loki, the show starring Loki, the character Loki from the movies that had Loki in them. Well, Loki had the Tesseract.
Wait, was Loki in that?
You know, I'd have to check IMDb real quick. Yes, Loki was in it. Okay. So he has the Tesseract at the beginning of the show on Disney+.
Yeah.
And then the TVA grab him and start to process him. And, you know, you go through the whole rigmarole of like, oh, am I a robot? I don't know, you know. And it gets to the point where he's finally going to get his grubby little fingers on the Tesseract again. He's like, I will get this and you will all bow before me, blah, 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 blah. And what happens when he finally gets to the Tesseract? Do you remember?
Yeah, the stones didn't work in the TVA.
And particularly, there was a rule that was told to him by, I can't remember the character's name, but the actor is Eugene Cordero. Filipino actor. He's awesome. He's hilarious. He's been in a bunch of things. He's like, oh yeah, a bunch of guys have them. Like they use them as paperweights and this, that, and the other thing. And he finds out that Infinity Stones only work in the universe that they're from originally. So how on earth could Ultimate Ultron go from reality to reality using those Infinity Stones? Fucking possible according to the rules they made, not me. And that was just like 2 months ago, gang.
So what if they backtrack and say that
you what ifing a what if episode?
I am, yeah.
You know, they
Like a hat on a hat, Leo.
Well, they're probably going to say that they were informed incorrectly. They were lied to. The TVA is actually a microcosm, and it's
That's an interesting point. What I would say, like just to counter that, is no, they fucked up.
Yeah, I mean
they fucked up.
They're so wrapped up in the stuff going on with Marvel right now that they probably were like, "Oh, wait a minute, we fucked up." But here's this stuff going on with Steve Ditko and Stan Lee. Here, just pay attention to that.
Steve Ditko and Stan Lee, what's going on with them? Aren't they? Hold on. Yep. Yeah, they're dead. I don't know what's happening.
You guys didn't know what was going on with that, right?
Oh yeah, we knew their families are greedy and they're trying to milk some money out of Disney.
Yeah. So
yeah,
by 2023, we might not have Spider-Man in Marvel.
Okay. Listen. That's a very tricky argument. All right, and I don't know that I fall on like directly on one side or the other. Okay, I think about people like Bill Finger in the past, who was completely dicked over by Bob Kane and National Publications / DC Comics for decades. I mean, well past his death. And it took a massive like campaign essentially, and his granddaughter fighting to finally get Bill Finger recognition for all of the hugely creative contributions he made to the character of Batman, which if anybody out there is not familiar with what I'm talking about, first of all, I recommend you check out the Dork Night podcast that we do. Leo, myself, and Justin Cooper. It's awesome. We cover Batman stuff left and right, back to front. But Bill Finger basically created everything about Batman and the world of Batman that you like. And he did not get any credit or really any of the financial benefits of doing so. But Bob Kane, the guy whose name appeared all the time right next to Batman on the front page. Hiya, Sammy. Sorry, everyone. Just gotta say hi to Sam, Steve's girlfriend, real quick. And Bob Kane made sure his name was front and center with the character of Batman for decades, years and years and years, and actually actively sought to not give Bill Finger credit. And it's a fucking nightmare. He should have been just as successful and wealthy as Bob Kane for all the things he did that actually improved upon the original idea that Bob Kane came up with. I mean, the costume of Batman in and of itself, that's Bill Finger. Bob Kane wanted him to have a red singlet with dark black or dark blue, underoos on the outside with a cape that looked like actual bat wings and just a domino mask with blonde hair. It was terrible, just god awful. All right. And if Bill Finger hadn't come in and done that and then created the Batcave and Alfred and the Joker and Robin, the Batmobile, everything that you like, he came up with. All right. So when it comes to people who are related to Jack the King Kirby or Stan Lee or Steve Ditko, and they're coming at these large companies who are now making billions and billions of dollars off the backs of the work that their fathers and grandfathers, made, there's something to the argument that, maybe they should actually give something, in proportion.
So I totally get you there. And I urge everybody definitely check out, I think it's called Batman and Bill. I think it's on Hulu.
Yeah. Batman and Bill, a documentary on Hulu. Yep. It's great.
Oh, it's amazing. And I totally am for that, for giving artists their due. The one thing that makes me a little hesitant is all the horror stories we heard about how Stanley's family treated him.
Well, the other thing I was going to say is this has already been done with Jack Kirby's family, his estate, and they did not win. There is a precedent that has kind of already been set. Because, unfortunately, there were contracts signed for when these guys did all this work, created all these characters, made all these stories, and did all this design. it was work for hire. And when you sign a piece of paper saying like, okay, yeah, you hired me to do this, and here it is, this is the result, you forfeit ownership of that because you agreed from the onset that it was never going to be yours to begin with. So it's tricky, but there is like the human aspect. It's like, okay, we get it, you're a corporation and you want all kinds of money, but like, you've basically turned this whole thing into your own goddamn printing press. It's a mint, so like, maybe just do the right thing and just, one, give credit where credit is due altogether, which they've been doing, but also give, say to the families like, you know what, here, you're right, take this and it'll all be settled, and make it a fair number. You know what I mean? Because they have been doing that for more modern creators. But I mean, even with some of the more recent stories that have been utilized, such as The Winter Soldier, which was created by Ed Brubaker.
Exactly. Yep.
Ed Brubaker forwent getting paid because the number that they offered him was incredibly low. And then he found out that other people who worked on the book that he created the story for actually got paid a whole lot more than he was offered altogether. And he still to this day hasn't seen a red cent from the movie Captain America: The Winter Soldier. I mean, and that's not 70 years ago.
No, and stuff like that is totally not cool. I mean, if you have, creative influences on how a character behaves, or you make a defining moment of a character, you should, and there's further successes within like movies and whatnot. Yeah, those creators should definitely get some kickback on that. There definitely should be sharing. And like I said, the only reason why I'm hesitant is because of what happened to Stan in his final years. That we found out that there was elder abuse. He was forced to go to showings when he wasn't feeling well. It was just horrific. And anybody that does that or allows that to happen.
Yeah, it's like the one guy that actually had been on Stan's side for years, they managed to like slowly push out. And he's the one that like started speaking out saying like, please, like everyone, like we need to make sure Stan's okay. Like anytime you've ever gone to a convention and they're like, sorry, Stan needs to take a break, he can't do this for a while. He's like, that's me. I'm the one that comes in and says, you need to stop for like 45 minutes to an hour. He's 90. You know what I mean? And they just managed to like, oh yeah, no, great. And okay, we got him out the door, gang. We can do whatever the fuck we want.
Yep. I have a unfortunate story. When he was at Rhode Island, I was the only media outlet to get coverage of Stan. And I had my shit down. I had to essentially fight a security guard that was like, I was there as press. And I was there I was asked specifically from Rhode Island to make sure I got coverage of that. There was tons of other media outlets.
Wow.
Nobody else got any video or anything. I got full video of him, but also I was able to get an audio recorder on the table next to where he was sitting.
Wow.
So I got crystal clear audio. And unfortunately, I also picked up how the guy was treating him there. It was I don't know who it was, but it was Stan was asked to draw Spider-Man and sign it, and then that was going to be auctioned off and done as a tattoo, like at the con. And the guy was pretty rude to Stan.
Marvelous. Oh, sorry, I'm not making a pun. I'm sorry, I'm not. That's disheartening. Actually, that's just heartbreaking.
Yeah, totally.
Wow. Well, anyway, let's get away from that.
Yeah, totally. Let's liven things up. Okay,
yeah.
so other than Ultron not being able to work in the multiverse, you said you enjoyed the show.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. Hold on. Sammy is saying, I believe anyone who abuses an elder will get their karma when they're old, and again once they're in hell.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. but I liked it. I really did. I'm still not. I'm not the biggest fan of them clearly just pulling everything together to just connect all the stories we've seen. Like, there's no need for it. Like, this is a chance to just tell standalone stories and just have the watcher be the framework for that.
I had one issue with this. Now, the whole story, the whole thing, the whole series, the watcher has this one rule, this one creed that he can't interfere. He can only watch. He can't manipulate even. He tries to manipulate, which he's just like doing the poking and prodding, like pick this,
But he's not. But hold on, no, that's not interfering though, because they can't hear or see him.
Right. The one thing I have an issue with is the very end, where he admits that he wants to interfere, and it looks like he's about to interfere.
Well, okay. I mean, I wouldn't say he wants to interfere. He has
no
to.
choice.
Yeah, he has no choice. I mean, I think he even says that, like, I have no choice.
That's the problem that I have.
Well, I mean, that's the thing though. Like, I understand that you have the problem. I just having that problem. Isn't it a little different when his backup is against the wall and he literally has no choice? You know, like, if he doesn't actually intervene, and I wouldn't say interfere, intervene, it's not even a point of like a reality or anything like that may be in chaos. His very existence, I mean, the ultimate, or, you know, whatever the hell Ultron vision, he is coming at Uatu straight up. Not just going through the multiverse at all. He wants that dude. So, I mean, in the interest of self-preservation, I can't really blame him for being like, I need your help, other than, you know, because what's the alternative? Like, okay, kill me. Nah, bump that. And that's just, I mean, does that make sense?
It does. It's just when they make a rule like that, and they
Well, it's not a rule. He took an oath. And kind of like, you know, let's say you're Batman and you took an oath not to kill anybody or to avenge all evils, and you decide
you can still let Ra's al Ghul stay on that train, though.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna kill you, but I don't have to save you either. Now, excuse me while I go pick up another pack of ghouls.
Yeah, it's not, you know, a rule where, you know, he physically can't, you know, where there's like some magic spell on him that's going to stop it. He took an oath not to, but for the greater good, he needs to now, because
greater good.
Yes.
I was about to say that. You knew exactly what I was thinking.
Oh, sorry. I've derailed your train of thought.
You know, come to think of it, if Uatu just didn't speak for a little bit, we wouldn't have this issue, because it was Ultron that heard him and just, you know, realized there was more out there.
It'd have been funnier if Uatu was just like, just like cleared his throat, and that's when Ultron was like, "What the fuck? Somebody here? Somebody just fucking cough? What the hell was that? I didn't cough. I don't even breathe." That'd be great.
Or even worse, just start making ghost noises. Ooh, I'm gonna go.
I'm so. Ooh. They call me Uatu. Yeah. I like to watch. Yeah, we fucking know, but are the nipple clamps necessary, bro? They are for me. Oh, okay. You know what? Ask a question, get an answer. Just doesn't mean I'm gonna get the answer I want. Never mind.
So yeah, I thought it was a fun episode. I thought it was awesome. I watched it twice, and you know, it's pretty.
Did you catch the reality where Ultron was Galactus?
Yeah.
Well, I saw Ultron. He ate the universe.
Well, it looked like he was eating the planet they were on, but I thought it was like basically a reality where he had become the eater of worlds. That's how I viewed it. Because what else would be like that big and going towards a planet?
See, I viewed it as it showed his face from the planet, and then it zoomed out, and then he chomped on the galaxy.
Yeah, we saw the same thing. We just had different interpretations of it. That's all.
We did. I didn't take it as Galactus. No.
So if we have donuts and we call the tiny ones donuts, what do you think the bigger version is of a planet for Galactus? I'll stop now.
By the way, they're called Munchkins.
Not according to Hostess, my good friend. All right, don't you play this game with me. Yeah, my wife loves the powdered ones. It's great because she can't get water into her mouth without making a mess. So that shit, it looks like a fucking early 19th century crime scene where somebody's trying to find a fingerprint by the time she's finished with them. Fucking powdered sugar everywhere.
Yeah, the powdered sugar ones are good. They have pumpkin munchkins now.
Well, that certainly sounds like a thing. I listen, I like pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
I don't go for the pumpkin erver thing.
Fuck pumpkin shit.
I mean, you know, if you're attracted to pumpkins, you go right ahead and fuck as many pumpkin things as you want.
No, the pumpkin spice, pumpkin pie, pumpkin coffee, pumpkin donuts, pumpkin muffins, pumpkin spice. Fuck it all. It's all
Love it all. Love it all. Just
Mazel tov, man.
Yeah.
Good for you. I'm glad. I'm happy.
Well, anyway, back to What If. I love that suit that he changes into.
Ooh, the Watcher?
Yeah.
That was cool, man. It's funny because when you look at it, it's actually very similar to what we've seen the Eternals wearing in the trailers for that movie. This meme keeps coming for my pumpkin pie. Oh yeah. I don't know who's coming for a pumpkin pie, but protect it, Sammy. You can do it. I have faith in you.
So I'm sorry, you were saying?
Yeah, it looks very similar to the type of get-ups that they have in the Eternals, which is pretty cool.
I was gonna say that, yeah.
Yeah, I'm digging it. Like I'm enjoying the idea of there being more of a ubiquitous look between these seemingly cosmic immortal beings versus what we've seen on the planet level heroes and what have you. You dig?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just a little bit more ornate features in some of these older characters that we're starting to see populate the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I dig it because some of the stuff in the movies, it starts to blend together, and it's all just after a while it's like, all right, so you guys like all go to the same like tailor? Is that what this is? It's like a government sponsored tailor or something? Like, how do you sew bulletproof material? So it's just a little bit of a refreshing thing to see. You know, it's they don't really need to worry about the suit itself protecting them, so they can be fancier with what they wear.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys noticed, but Eternals has received a mature rating in Russia. Now, I don't know if Disney's going to trim this in the US, because obviously Disney and R ratings don't mix well. But if it gets a mature rating in Russia, we could get an R rating for a Disney movie or a Marvel movie.
I think they might be a little lenient.
In Soviet Russia, movie watches you.
Yeah, I think they might be a little more lenient on that. We'll see. I hope they keep the R.
Like let's remember that it's Disney, and if they grease enough palms, they'll get the rating they want. Gang.
So what episode of What If was this?
8. Yep, 8. I got there at the same time, maybe even a little bit before you, Steve.
Okay, so the one left. I have the titles that were leaked. And
Good old Reddit.
It's not Reddit.
it's not Reddit. It's just some guy in a corner of the internet. It's like, hey guys, I think I found the titles for the episodes. You want to see them? Here they are.
Have you even gone on Reddit, Steven? I know this is off tangent.
Yes, I have actually. I've actually gone on Reddit to ask help on something.
Oh, no, you don't. No, you don't.
You went to Reddit for help? No, you don't engage. What are you Steven?
No, I've actually gotten the help I needed. So
okay.
You know how hard it is
and I only need
get Duke Nukem on your computer? I found the help I needed. So
Okay.
yes.
Well, I'm glad you did, but I would say participate in the.
Yeah, we're different, man. Because like I went to Reddit recently to try to find something, and I was just like, I wish I could ask someone here. Like I'm not capable of typing in stuff on Reddit, but at the same time, I was like, but I don't want anyone to really acknowledge my existence on this thing. I'm good. I got a screen name, you know what I mean? It's not my real name. It's a little close, but you know, at the same time, I don't want anyone to even like ping me. Like I don't mean like literally geocode me, just aware of me. Nope, I'll just glean. I'll try to see if somebody already asked the question I need. And that's that.
I'll comment. I'll make I'll make cute comments or funny comments or something like that, and I'll get my internet points. But
oh yeah, same here.
Yeah.
But like legitimate, like for example, I went there a few days ago because I've just had this resurgence. Sorry, and this is a tangent. I'll bring it right back. I'm sorry. I went looking for a very specific thing. I'm a huge Twin Peaks fan, and I've been attacking it again lately. I've been absorbing a lot of stuff because I had this like half formulated opinion by the time I finished watching the third season, and it's been nagging at me like, and I know that there's like this crazy super fan edit of some of the Twin Peaks stuff where this one guy, I believe his name is Q2 or something like that. He took like the first and second seasons and just like really boiled it down to the stuff that mattered, and then did the same thing with Fire Walk with Me, the movie. And I need to see those before I die, and I can't find them anywhere. And a lot of stuff I was checking out, like searches, led me to Reddit where people were kind of discussing. And then I got to the point where it was like, oh, you should email this person or that person or go to this website. But I went there and they're like, oh, don't ask this guy for stuff directly. Don't ask anybody because that's not allowed. I'm like, then how the fuck do you get the things you're looking for? And that's where it left me. So I'm still, a year into looking for it, coming up bupkis. But nobody fucking knew that I was looking for it. And that way I don't have to worry about anybody dinging me for anything else.
See, normally on Reddit, I find out that there's a lot of mean people on there.
Yeah, no shit. Sometimes I'm one of them. No, I'm kidding.
So yeah, it's great for news. It's great for keeping up on trends. But
I've noticed that, but that was the one and only time I had to ask for assistance because it was just trying to get that game on my computer. Because originally, let me go on a little mini tangent here, because basically I have an emulator system that someone hooked me up with in this room, and I wanted to get Duke Nukem 3D on the system, and the only two ways you could get it was through Steam, which thanks to Greasy Randy Pitchford, you cannot get it on Steam anymore.
Thanks a lot, Greasy Randy.
So yeah, the only way you could get it is through a program called eDuke 32 and get an old copy of Duke Nukem 3D. Thank God I had my copy still from 1995. So you had to import the copy and run it through eDuke. And I tried multiple times. And I went to Reddit and asked for help.
You went to Reddit and the end result was groovy.
Pretty much.
Huh? See?
Yeah.
I pulled it into Duke Nukem.
Segue.
He says that. He says that in the game, guys.
Yeah, he does.
But anyway, so
Fire Walk with Me.
Fire Walk with Me, yes.
That's the movie.
Q2 fan edit, yeah.
Okay.
Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me.
And you found it?
No, I found the place where people said I could find it.
Oh,
and then the place where people said I could find it, they were like, "Hey, you can't ask people for stuff, so good luck." I'm like, then what? Why are we here? What's the fucking point of this website?
Is it Q2 Fire Walk with Me or just Fire Walk with Me?
The guy who did the edit, his name is Q2.
Okay.
The name of the movie is Twin
Walk
Peaks Fire Walk with Me, and it would be the Q2 fan edit.
Okay, so Fire Walk with Me is something totally different.
Yeah.
Well, that's the
That's
movie.
the actual movie.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's Twin Peaks the movie,
Okay.
which came out after seasons 1 and 2 were on and done on ABC.
Okay.
Because like I'm a glutton for punishment. That's really what every Twin Peaks fan is, because the mystery is just it's deep and it's very meta, and it keeps me awake at night sometimes.
Okay. Well, anyway, on Pluthor news, Tony Stark on Sakaar. I think that's the next one.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Tony Stark on Sakaar.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be interesting. Oh wait, I think I knew some of it. Yeah, that'll be interesting to see then.
Yeah. So the titles that they list: Captain Carter, which we already saw; T'Challa as Star-Lord; Loki on Earth; Dark Doctor Strange; Party Thor; Tony Stark and Killmonger; Marvel Zombies; Infinite Ultron; Tony Stark and Sakaar. So
All right.
Tony Stark Sakaar is what we have not seen yet.
Great, like a full-on Spartacus thing while he's on Sakaar. Like everybody stands up, like I am Iron Man. Just Jeff Goldblum. Hello. Just want to know who the guy is that I've got to kill. Is it Tony Stark? Who's Tony Stark? Iron Man. Who's Iron Man? And that's when you get, I'm Iron Man. I'm Iron Man. Just everybody in the entire fucking arena. Like, kill them all.
Where's the glowy stick? Okay, so what was that?
That was a text message I just got.
Oh, what have we here?
Sorry, I should have put the thing on silent.
That's cool.
Anyway, you were moving on to something else?
Yeah, so we're getting the Sopranos show on Friday. Or movie, Sopranos movie.
The Sopranos movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
What else? Free Guy came out on VOD.
Yes, it most certainly did.
Came on a certain service. So
yes, it did. It's oh my god, Free Guy is so awesome.
It really is.
I haven't seen it yet. I'm gonna watch it later on this week.
Did you? Okay, this isn't a spoiler because it's not a story point. Okay, it's not giving anything away. But Leo, I'll just ask: did you hear Hugh Jackman in the movie?
I watched a video that.
God damn it!
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I didn't know. So I
didn't know until after I watched it. I'm like, really? That was him?
When I watched it, I immediately was like, that's him, especially because he's doing an American accent. But Hugh Jackman drops into Australian all the time on everything he does an American accent in. He's not great at being consistent with it.
Also, I think The Rock's in it as well.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Well, he does a voice in it.
Yeah, I figured that's what you meant.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't want to get too much into it because like I don't care about like viewers right now spoiling it for them. But like Steve hasn't seen it, and like I know Steve, and I care about whether or not he's seen it. So you got that going for you, Steve, which is nice.
Speaking of games,
Batman's in it. I'm joking.
I was like, what, is he? What the fuck? How did I miss that?
I'm joking. Okay, so yeah, speaking of games, Steven, we got a Nintendo Direct. Tell us all about it. What is this Nintendo 64 pack?
Well, it's an expansion pack for Nintendo Switch Online. So for those of you who don't know, there's a Nintendo Switch Online where for like $4 you could play NES and SNES games, and they add new games every month. They just announced an expansion pack where you can play N64 and Sega games. So they haven't announced the price yet, but the games that'll be at launch and it's going to launch at the end of the month, or sometime this month coming up. Super Mario 64, which kind of negates the whole Super Mario 3D World that came out last year, but neither here nor there.
Oh, Nintendo loves cannibalizing themselves.
Right. Ocarina of Time will be at launch. Super Mario Kart 64, something like that.
Mario Kart 64, yeah.
Yeah. The Sega games, Sonic 2, Echo the Dolphin.
Now, I'm sorry, Steve, because I do have the whole, friggin' direct thing there, the subscription and all that. So when you say expansion pack, what do you mean exactly?
So basically, it's going to be like, so let's say you pay $4.99 for the Nintendo Switch Online. You can carry over that $4.99 and upgrade to the expansion pack, which the price is unknown. So let's say it's $7.99. So your $4.99 will be $7.99.
Okay, so it'll still give me access to the other things that I pay for, but it's a tiered thing. So if I don't want to do the N64 stuff, I can still pay $4.99 for Super Nintendo and Nintendo.
Right.
Okay.
But they're still going to add NES and SNES games to it.
Cool. Yeah, it was really cool playing Kid Icarus for the first time since I was like 7. Honestly, like I'm not being sarcastic.
Love that game.
I was enthralled with it when I was 7 and frustrated with it at 37.
Oh yeah. It's I don't think I've seen past like the first level.
Me neither, man.
I do want to get your guys' opinion on something. The last thing they ended the Nintendo Direct with, a wild Shigeru Miyamoto appeared and revealed a animated Mario movie.
Oh, and that would be the one with Chris Pratt as the voice of Mario, and Charlie Day as Luigi, correct?
And Charles Marionette, who voiced Mario for many years in a mystery role that hasn't been announced. Seth Rogen voicing Donkey Kong.
It's going to be like, this is going to be Mario as a kid, and then, I don't know where I'm going with that.
I mean, listen, it's an animated movie that is likely going to be a fantasy story, which Mario should be. I mean, he gets pulled into another world and has to do the whole like fighting these weird creatures and saving a princess and all that. So cool. Even if you have, rephrase. I want to yuck anybody's yum if they don't like the casting so far. Okay, I'd say give it a chance, watch it before you freak out. But even if it's not like 100% what you really envisioned Illumination doing for the animation on this altogether, like the whole story, how it's executed, please remember it's still likely going to be far better than the live action movie we got in the 90s.
I just figured out what they're going to do.
Uh-oh. What are they going to do?
They're going to do like they're going to go the Lou Albano route. And Chris Pratt is going to be the live action Mario, and then they're going to go into the cartoon world, and then it's going to be Martinet.
So he's going to start off with a rap song too.
Yeah.
Hooked on the brothers. Bam, 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 bam. Jesus.
I'm with you, Brandon. I would say give it a chance, but we all have our own different reservations on the 93 one. And you know what? Say what you will about it. It was an experiment. And just like this, I'm not sure if you all remember about the Sonic movie where when they first revealed
that was all marketing. That was all.
No. Hey, when they revealed the Sonic character for the first time, the internet buried the studio, the project, Sonic, the creators, the animators, everything.
They didn't bury the okay. So
they complained. And then the studio was like, haha, look at all the hard work we did on all the improvements on this character in just like 6 short months. It's like, right. You guys didn't put that image out there purposely to make everyone's fucking expectations this far down.
So if they do that again, do you think lightning will strike twice?
With what though? Like, I mean, you're talking about the announcement of a voice cast at this point. What on earth could they have possibly been doing with that voice cast that 6 months from now they're like, oh, guess what, everyone? We were just joshing you. Here's the real voice cast. Psych. I don't think so.
I read something that Chris Pratt said that he's been working with his voice actors so that his voice doesn't sound like his own.
Hey, let me tell you something. Like, I'm not here to like say that Chris Pratt is the best or worst of anything. I've seen him in Parks and Rec, which I thought he was great in. I think I've enjoyed what he's done in the Guardians of the Galaxy, the Marvel movies. He hasn't really hit his stride outside of those things yet. But I will say I have seen him in interviews over the past few years, especially with Graham Norton on the BBC in the UK.
Great show.
And he actually he had in one of the interviews he did, and the conversational, the way that Graham Norton does it, he's very good. Chris Pratt starts talking about how he's a parrot, and he's just like, I've been here in Britain working for a while. I came over and started doing the movie, and they were good enough to work with me at Parks and Rec to make sure that I was able to kind of show up a little bit, and they were very generous in the time that they allowed me. But I spent so much time around here that I started walking around and like kind of imitating everybody. And then I got to the point where I was able to like trick other people that they thought maybe for a second I was Chris Pratt. And I was like, oh no, I'm not. No, I get that all the time. And he actually like went through and he was like, hold on, you gotta give me a second. And he kind of warmed up to it. And then he started speaking in a full British accent, and Graham Norton and whoever the other guest was, they were like, wow, you sound like you've lived here your entire life. And he was like, yeah, it drives. And this was before he was divorced. He was like, yeah, it drives out of nuts. So I actually do think he has an ear. He has a talent for vocality. And if he's been working on that for this movie in particular, especially to differentiate from how he sounds in the Lego movie, then you know what? I'm more than willing to give him a chance. More than willing. I'm most interested to hear Charlie Day as Luigi. And that's because I love Charlie Day. I think he's hysterical. And I am totally looking forward to hearing just a goofball, unhinged Luigi. I want that.
I want to hear what Jack Black sounds like as Bowser. To be fair, I just want to hear.
Have you ever heard Jack Black speak?
Yes.
There you go.
I've seen Tenacious D in concert. He has a range. So I've played Brutal Legend.
Hold on.
Oh yeah, good. He said he was in the Fellowship of the Ring. Something about it.
Okay, let me skip a little bit.
And my wife Anna came out to visit. She fell in love with this show, Towie. The Only Way Is Essex. It's this show that's like basically their Jersey Shores. The Jersey, like I could pick up their accent and do their accent a little bit. Yeah, I'm okay. This is really embarrassing to do in front of a whole room full of Brits here, but I'll try it anyways. So it's like, honestly, I saw this guy.
Oh, that is so loud. God, turn the fucking volume down, blowing my ears. But listen, he's an actor, and
totally.
I don't doubt that he's going to do a good job with it. I think it's going to be a very entertaining movie, and they're going to try to finally hit the spots that they wanted when they did a live action movie. They're going to shoot for all audiences and something that everybody can enjoy, and not like a bland, like plain, beige everyone enjoy, something that's genuinely fun for all audiences.
Yeah, and look at what we've already received for Mario. I mean, a lot of us, we remember the old cartoons. There was multiple cartoons for like Super Mario 2, Super Mario 3. You had
Super Mario World was terrible. I love the game. The cartoon was terrible though.
Oh yeah.
Started out with like a fake reggae song and shit. Oh, just the worst. Super Mario World, it's a blast from the past. That is actually how that song goes. Not great.
So I mean, there's really not much. It can only go up from there. But the thing is, you're gonna get the haters on the internet, and people will trash it. But if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. And at least they're gonna give it a shot finally. Unlike the Zelda movie that we'll never get.
Well, I mean, if they ever do a Zelda movie, they really honestly should go a similar route. I mean, doing it live action, I don't think would be the right move. I really don't, because you're never gonna get anybody that really fully encompasses what so many people think the characters should look like and actually like their mannerisms and everything.
Well, I don't know.
Metroid would be a good animated.
Metroid actually would probably be a pretty cool live action.
Yeah.
But the trick about that is because of what the content of the games are, you're not necessarily going to be able to hit that all audience mode.
I just remembered
where you left your keys.
The new Metroid comes out next week, and I got it pre-ordered.
There you go. I have still been playing my GameCube. So I plugged it in. I got it. I plugged it in a few weeks ago, and I can't stop playing Beautiful Joe, guys.
That is such a good game.
You know, I love it. Henshin a go, baby.
I was driving by our local Best Buy in our area, and I think it was early one morning. I was on my way to work, and I saw a line around Best Buy, and I'm like, what are people lining up for? And then I was reading at work what people were lining up for. I'm like, apparently they're selling PS5s at Best Buy now. I'm like, well, it's begun. It took them a fucking year to do it. But
hey, you mean I can finally get one now?
Just fucking cool your jets, guys. Cool your jets, hot shots. If everybody's lining up around the corner now, and everybody's gonna be fucking doing the whole same stupid shit they were around Christmas last year, then my recommendation, I know this is the hard thing to do, but try to hold off until after the holiday season, because it's just going to be insane up through December.
Well, the PlayStation's been insane anyway because of scalpers. I mean, scalpers have just been, it's been impossible to get one.
Oh yeah, two, three, maybe 4 weeks ago, I was looking for it online because I check like once a month. I'm like, what are the prices like now? Oh, I'm still not paying that. Never mind. Thanks, Google. But I started seeing. I was like, oh my god, look at that. This is $650 for the standard edition. Which when I get it, I'm going to get the one that you can put discs in. I don't want a digital edition. That's insane. To just go digital. Fuck that. But $650, and I was like, oh my, that's great. $650, and I'm sitting there going, fantastic. What a fantastic price, guys. We should all be getting one now. No, I'm going to be hard pressed when I can actually get one for $500. I'm going to get, they're trying to make it so that by the time I pay that $500, it's going to be a relief that I only had to pay $500. You know what I mean?
Crap. I only paid retail price.
Yeah, only.
Yeah.
Judas Priest. Fucking capitalism rules. Man.
Wow. You think the price of groceries are bad? It's terrible.
Well, I mean, on the flip side of that coin, I mean, I'm saying like, oh, my $500 for a PS5 standard. Oh, thank God. But if I took that same amount of money to fucking Whole Foods, I'd be like, oh my God, 3 days worth of food.
Or you can go with the PlayStation 5 and then just get ramen.
Yeah, ramen. Oh, wait, like the noodles.
And then just take Uber because gas prices are so high. Hey, we're back in the 70s. No refunds.
Fucking, if gas prices are that high, the only thing that some people are going to be driving around is their fucking Chevrolet legs.
Wait. Steven, wait. What is that reference? What was that reference? This is the 70s, no refunds?
Because gas prices are so high now. They're so high that it was higher than it was back in the 70s.
Do you know? Well, it's not even that it was high in the 70s. There was a gas shortage, full blown. Like they used to have to assign when people could go to get gas based on like the last number or letter of their license plate. You had a certain day of the week you could go, and you had a limit on what you could buy for gasoline at a time. And I only know that because of the old guys I used to work with when I was a machine operator. Like one of the old guys, John Kelly. Brandon, let me tell you about the 70s. All right, cool, man. I mean, I missed it by a couple of years, but lay it on me, big dog. What do you got? He's like, you ever go to fill up your gas tank at the gas station, and then you just put the pump back because it's full, and then you leave? I'm like, yeah, I call that filling up my tank. He goes, ha! We used to dream of filling up our tank in 76. I'm like, All right, man. Cool. Is that why your generation is mad all the time? I don't get it. I was born 7 years later. It wasn't me.
Yes, it was, Brandon.
Yeah, you know what? You're starting to sound an awful lot like my parents.
Speaking of gas, and I'm just gonna say this because it makes me think of my dad. But back in the when I started driving in the early 90s to late 80s, he worked for a gas company. He repaired stations. And when they replaced tanks or whatever, he always had tons of gas around. So I never.
Listen to the embarrassment of riches over at the farm.
So
You guys want a cup of gas to bring home so you can maybe drive to a store and get an ice cream? No? Okay, fine. Can't say I didn't offer. No. Don't put it in the styrofoam cup. That's insane.
Just a fair warning though, never take a cup of gas and light it on fire.
Don't put it.
Oh, good. Thanks for the heads up on that one. I was so close to doing it tomorrow.
Because when you're a kid and gas is like all around the place, you try things.
Yeah,
you know what? If you were so afraid of snakes back then,
we didn't have the snakes back then.
They didn't tell me not to drink it.
You could have made homemade napalm. You could have just take gas and styrofoam and just mailed it together and just.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning into this week's episode of the Anarchist Cookbook. Shut up, Steven. FBI is fucking commenting right now. Shut it down.
Well, I told you when my dad found that nest of snakes, he poured gas down the holes and then lit it on fire. And
now we understand why he was pouring gas down, because he fucking had more of it than he knew what to do with.
Exactly.
More fucking gas than Texas.
Yeah,
Shit.
yeah.
Like, I gotta do something with this gas. I might as well kill snakes with it. Hey, maybe your neighbors need it. No. Fuck them. I'm killing snakes. Their grandmother hasn't been to church in a month because they can't afford the gas to drive her in because she's so old and frail. Oh, yeah, that sucks. But you know what I got? A fucking wall full of snakes, and I'm going to kill them with that goddamn gas. Oh, boy.
This show totally derailed. I apologize for that.
Nah, it's cool. Everybody loves it.
Yeah, I know.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I'll buy that for $1.
A gallon.
A fucking gallon for $1. Whoa. What is it? 1992? Jeez.
So we got any more news? Anything else happening?
Maybe. What Venom stuff, or was there?
Yeah, so Venom came out and the end is leaking. I'm not going to say what happened, but there is something major that happens in the post-credit scene.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Does Andrew Garfield show up?
Wait,
I'm joking. You don't have to confirm. It's fine. If I accidentally guessed it, I'm sorry.
Is it just the fact that the runtime of this movie is 90 minutes, where compared to the first Venom was almost 2 hours? There's like just this thing of runtime where you should have the same amount of runtime with both movies.
Not necessarily. I mean, it depends on what they're tackling and how quickly they're able to execute certain stuff. I mean, there's the argument to be made where, there are some movies out there that are 2.5 hours that probably doesn't need to be that long. You can easily look at it and be like, this could have had 45 minutes. For the record,
it doesn't need to be 4 fucking hours long, and we're not going to go down that rabbit hole again. But
I have conversed with a few thousand people that greatly disagree with you. I agree with you. Does not need to be 4 hours at all. But oh boy, the Snyderbots and the MCU zombies, man, they need to get together and just have a play date and hug and just have fun, because I mean, MCU can do no fucking wrong according to the MCU zombies and Snyderbots. They're still plugging away at the fucking restore the Snyderverse. I mean, meanwhile, I've been hanging out around at the farm down the street from my house. They have a dead horse there, and I grab a baseball bat and go to town every other day because I also enjoy beating a dead horse.
PETA, he did not recommend. He doesn't mean that.
Oh, I mean, it was dead when I got there. I walked up. I was like, "Oh, buddy, why the long face?"
Oh, jeez.
It turns out it's because he was a horse and he was dead.
You needed more glue.
Come on, buddy, you can do it. Just hoof it. But yeah, so
wait.
Oh.
You know, if you need to make a decision, we could just take a Gallup poll.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to stir up any trouble. Okay, enough of this horsing around.
Yeah, you know, let's saddle this for later.
Oh fuck! Oh man, that was good. You just rode right in on that. I like it.
Before we stir up any more controversy,
I already used that one. Yeah, so there's still all the same kind of stuff that's flying around about this, Spider-Man movie coming out. We're getting little tidbits of the Flash still. One of the things that we didn't really get a chance to talk about because we didn't run last week was they released a quick still of the Flash suit, quote unquote suit from the Flash, and it's the Batman 89 suit that has been spray painted red with a spray painted yellow lightning bolt going down it, which a lot of people, and I love this because it's so wildly stupid, are like, oh, Red Death confirmed. Now, for those of you that don't know, Red Death is a character from this multiverse story that took place recently in DC Comics where Batman somehow became the fucking crux of the entire universe. I don't know how. But in these dark multiverses where shit went wrong and it was usually because of Batman, he took over Barry Allen's body and Speed Force connection, and he is now Batman, but with all that speed source speed, and he goes by Red Death. And to that I say no, and ha! All right. It's clearly, just Occam's razor. The simplest solution is usually the right one. Okay. Barry likely shows up in the 89 universe and needs a suit of some kind. So 89 Batman gives him one of his suits, and Barry decides to spray paint it red and put a spray painted yellow lightning bolt across it to be like, hey, it's kind of my suit. And there you go. It's not rocket science. But then again, if Red Death shows up, then fuck me. I don't know. But I think that's a bit much. I think people who read comics are editorializing a bit too much. They're imprinting over what could happen with what they know from comics, and then they forget that most of the people that watch these movies do not read comics. You know what I mean?
Just a little bit, yeah.
Just ever so slightly. Yeah. Just
people who read comics have a very active imagination, and they
oh, that's a lovely way to put that.
Yeah.
That was lovely.
Yeah, and they tend to voice strong opinions on why everybody else is wrong.
Yes. The rest of the world would call that at least semi-delusional, but yes, active imaginations for sure. Listen, if you know what you know and you love what you love, that's great. You just have to remember that not everybody has that same base of knowledge. It's sort of like there was a guy in a group that I actually had a little bit back and forth with just last night, and he was just like, I'm so sick and tired of the Charlton characters always being referred to as the original Watchmen, because Alan Moore based those characters in Watchmen on actual comic book characters that existed that DC owned, but they were like, no, you can't use those. We just bought them. And I'm talking about like Blue Beetle, the Question, Though, Night Owl became what came from Blue Beetle, and Rorschach came from The Question, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But most people don't know who the Charlton characters are. So it makes sense in a popular meaning with the wildly popular graphic novel, let alone movie and television series that was done on HBO recently as a follow-up to the comic, Watchmen. I mean, it's been on the Times like greatest novels list for however long. And so people know it. It makes sense that they reference Watchmen in referral to that. So the original Watchmen, yes. He's like, I never hear people call, Captain Marvel the original Miracle Man. I'm like, dude, once again, how many fucking people out there know who Miracle Man is? Your example is literally the exact fucking opposite of the thing that you're stating. Like, people know who Captain Marvel / Shazam is, regardless of the fact that he's a character that's been around since right around Superman in the early 40s. He also had a television show in the 70s that was paired with ISIS. I mean, it was the fucking Shazam ISIS Power Hour. That's exactly what that was. So people knew it was in the zeitgeist. So to be like, oh, Miracle Man, a guy that was created as a Captain Marvel sort of pastiche, and says a magic word, turns into a superhero. You know who knows about that? Comic book nerds. That's it. And not even all of them. Like, even people who have a passing knowledge of comic books would still probably be like, Miracle Man? Like, Steve, do you know who Miracle Man is?
No.
There you go.
Wait. Is he?
Wait a minute. It's an Aussie song, right?
You are right. It is an Aussie song, but no, not what I'm talking about.
Is
but
he
I had that album in high school too.
Is he the spokesman for Miracle Whip?
Oh man, you would think so, but nope. Yeah, it was a British comic book character, and he said the word Kimoto, which with a K, but it was like atomic backwards, and that's what turned him into the superhero. But nobody fucking knows who that is, So to reference that in such a way, it's like, dude, you are in your own bubble. Like, this is a feedback loop, and yeah, you're talking to a bunch of comic book nerds about this, and so a lot of people are going to chime in and be like, yeah, you're right. But ask the people who go to see these movies if they know who Miracle Man is, or who the Question is, or Thunderbolt, and they'll be like, what? Or Captain Atom. Ask them who Captain Atom is, who Dr. Manhattan was based on, and they are not going to know. It's that simple. So it's really easy for a lot of comic book fans to get wrapped up in all of this accumulated knowledge and experience they have with these characters and stories, and forget that most people don't have that.
Speaking of comic book news, so I'm checking my news feed right now, and apparently, as of 3 minutes ago, Screen Rant reported Marvel cancels nonstop Spider-Man on a massive cliffhanger.
So it's a nonstop Spider-Man, so a little bit of a misnomer.
Yeah, but have you read Nonstop Spider-Man?
No, I have not.
If you don't have ADHD, you will by the time you read it.
I mean, I do, so that's not promising.
Holy shit! It's like
they're gonna leave their readers with permanent ADHD then.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Yeah. It's so. The way it's read literally is like a constant stream of consciousness.
That sounds an awful lot like Finnegan's Wake, which is a nightmare.
Yeah. Well, I read the first issue and I'm like, nope, I'm done.
Well, that's like an awful lot of other Spider-Man comics that I've read in the past. Like, I read the first issue and I'm like, oh, you know what? I just remembered Spider-Man's not for me. I mean, I do like some Spider-Man stories. I just can't read the character like regularly. I was really into like Ultimate Spider-Man. I really enjoyed the other Evolve or Die story arc that was done. I really liked how they tried to elevate. That was J. Michael Straczynski tried to elevate what the actual story of Spider-Man was. And it was such a great idea, and he executed it so well. And I honestly feel they did a huge fucking disservice to the work he did by making Moreland a huge part of that like Spider-Verse thing that they've done in the comics, which I read all of as well, because like it's an alternate reality thing. So why wouldn't I fucking read that? That's my jam. But Spider-Man month to month, like regular shit. I've just never been able to really get into it. Like, he's like the Woody Allen of superheroes. He's just, no, oh, I have all these superpowers, and my uncle, he's dead because I was a dickhead one night, and I can't make up my mind between doing my job or helping people in my costume or going out on a date with my beautiful redheaded model wife. Dude, shut up. All right, fuck you. Fuck you sideways with a rusty chainsaw, you whiny asshole. God, like, literally, he's the premier photographer for Spider-Man in New York City. Nobody gets better shots than him. All right, he fucking has this beautiful wife. He has these superpowers. He has all kinds of friends in the superhero community. I mean, so many, in fact, that, like, straight up, the fact that J. Jonah Jameson is constantly like, he's a menace. Everyone else is like, not really though. Like, and for the most part, everyone's like, we'll let him. Okay, he's fine. Just let him swing through. He's fine. Who's under the mask? We don't care. He's not hurting anybody. But if he does, okay, whatever. That's Spider-Man. Whoop-de shit. Like, what's the biggest thing that I have to worry about? Like, he's going to fight Mysterio. He's going to fight the Green Goblin. He's going to fight the Vulture. He's going to fight Sandman. He's going to fight Electro. Whatever. Are they going to kill him? No. Is he going to kill them? No. Is he going to get bruised up and dinged up? Sure. Is he going to run out of webs halfway through the fight? Of fucking course. Oh, look. I just described every Spider-Man comic book from the 60s up through the fucking 90s. Sorry, gang.
No, it's good to hear you rant. Love it.
I mean, the character has some great story arcs for sure. It's just, I mean, listen, I love Superman, but I still can't read Superman month to month because it gets into that rut. It's like, okay, we fucking get it, dude. Like,
oh yeah, like I told you, I've been trying to read Batman straight through.
Good luck.
Oh my god, it's trying to get through this Tom King run is painful.
Well, I mean, Batman's the same thing. Like, some amazing story arcs, but but just if you were month to month on that shit, Godspeed, my friends, because you are stronger than I am as a person, as a human being. You know, there's a spot for you in Valhalla. I loved, I've mentioned this to you, Leo. I loved what they were doing with Detective Comics a couple years back, where Tim was setting up the Belfry or whatever they were calling it, and really getting the whole Bat family together and forming a cohesive unit. And Batman finally turned to Clayface, and instead of sticking him in Arkham or someplace that could contain him, he straight up was like, yeah, Tim's right. We need to start working on rehabilitating people. And I think that Boris, isn't his name Boris? Because he's nicknamed after Boris Karloff or something like that. But anyway, Clayface, I'm going to give him a chance. And he gives him a, thing that allows him to take regular shape for, stretches of time. And he's training himself to do it. And he's actually becoming part of the team and being a good guy. That's exactly the kind of shit that I want to see happen. And it was amazing. And then it stopped because they were like, well, that story arc's over. Let's just go back to the status quo. And it's like, oh yeah, why wouldn't we? Let's just keep things unchanging and non-progressive. Fucking stupid. The story was great, but the fact that they've just reverted right back to it, everything as it was before afterwards. I mean, it was one of the most impressive stories from Tim Drake I had seen. Like, I thought it was amazing how he orchestrated it, and Bruce listened to him. That I thought was great, because he actually made a conscious effort and even said out loud, like, you know what, you're right. The way I've been doing this, it's not working. It's a Band-Aid on gangrene. Like, let's do it your way, because you've thought about it and you have a plan. That's exactly the kind of leadership you would expect from Batman. And when all was said and done, it went right back to, someone killed my mommy and daddy in an alley, and I dressed like a bat. All right, dude, cool. Glad we got rid of that whole fucking team, that whole unit that you were working with.
But I just realized, and since I've been reading it, I know they're doing Fear State right now, which is that's the fear guy. Who's the fear guy?
Scarecrow?
Scarecrow.
Who's the fear guy?
Fear man! You will fear me, Batman! Watch this! I bet you're scared now.
I told you my mind is fried.
That's cool. That's why we're here, man. That's why we're here.
Yeah.
Called brain fog. I've been getting it too.
Oh yeah, no, I'm fried.
What's that villain that likes to give Batman hugs and give gifts to all of his enemies? Carecrow? That's it, Carecrow.
Well, anyway, so they're doing this huge story arc on Scarecrow with this fear. I said it earlier. Fear. Whatever.
Fear State.
Fear State. Supposed to be something like 20 or 40 seasons, not seasons.
Issues.
Issues. But during the Tom King run, they did a huge stint with Scarecrow as well.
Oh, well, at least it was something new and different.
It was, yeah, but it was idiotic. It was, jeez. So they, after the wedding got called off.
It was after the wedding, that didn't happen.
Exactly. You find out that Batman's captured and he's being intravenously fed the fear toxin. So there's like a huge stint of issues that are just dreams.
Oh, great. We didn't get enough of those in the fucking 60s, right? Oh my God. Is this really what's going to happen to Batman by the end of this issue? No, it's an imaginary tale.
And they end it with something that's so bizarre, but it ends up being real. It's like Batman on the beach with Catwoman. But it turns out he's there because he's, he escaped the fear vessel and he's trying to repair himself. And then he has to go back into Gotham to fight Bane. And then Bane ends up killing Alfred.
Oh my God.
Did you know how they killed off Alfred?
With a gun.
No. Bane snaps his neck in front of Damian.
I will be this butler's reckoning.
He's tied up and
Damian, huh?
Yeah, he's tied up, and Damian's tied up. They're facing each other at the dinner table, and off panel, Alfred's going, you can do it, just not in front of the boy, not in front of the boy, and then it goes to a frame where it's just
no. I require an audience. I will do this every chance I get.
Please do. I love
Bring
it.
up Bane more often. Oh, you rang. I will be this podcast's reckoning.
We're gonna have a Bane segment.
Oh man.
Okay. Yeah, I talked enough.
I will break the butler. Oh, sorry, that did not work out the way I wanted it to.
And Superman gave Batman some diamond kryptonite.
What? Like as an engagement ring?
No, so he it's a special kryptonite that you touch it and you gain Superman's powers forever.
Well, like you get the same powers as Superman?
Yep.
Sure. Okay. I mean,
because he wanted Batman to be able to fight crime, like, with superpowers.
Oh, that's a great idea. Yeah. Let's do that after everything Bruce has experienced.
He ended up giving the special kryptonite to a psychotic, Gotham girl.
Oh, yeah, the Gotham boy and Gotham girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was interesting when that first popped up, and then I forgot about it because that was like 5 years ago, right?
Yeah. That's what I'm reading right now. So, but that's actually how that was the birth of Kite Man.
That was the birth of Kite Man. Origin revealed. At long last, the story of Kite Man.
Yeah.
flying this season. A bold new epic flies into your hearts.
Gotham Boy or whatever like wiped out Kite Man's family.
Oh yeah, but didn't Gotham Boy die?
Yeah.
That whole thing was weird.
It was, and he took out like the whole Justice League prior.
Yeah,
and like the more he used his powers, the
quicker that it would burn him out. Yeah, I mean the thing is, when that happened in the book, I was like, oh, so they just took the plot point of Lex Luthor getting Superman's powers from All-Star Superman and applied it to these villains, and made it over the course of like a couple of months instead of a few minutes. Okay, sure. There's nothing new under the sun, gang. Like, you can look at every permutation. It's like music, you know, you can make so many different things with music, but there's still only so many combinations you can eventually make with the same amount of keys and notes. You know what I mean? Burn.
Yep.
Yeah, that was an Ernest reference for anybody that is old enough to realize that. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know how the fuck we got onto Batman.
Yeah, it was all me. I'm sorry.
No, that's cool. That's cool. I mean, I know I fucking tweaked out on Spider-Man, and I mean, I gave Superman shit too. So, but yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of Superman, we're going to be talking about Superman in a little bit, and we should get over to that.
Yes, we should.
So we will wrap things up. Steven, where do you like people interacting with you?
So you can follow Super Retro Throwback Reviews on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We have 2 shows on the Dorkening Podcast Network: Super Retro Throwback Reviews, the Audio Files, and CSI, the Vegas Files. You can find both those shows on the Dorkening Podcast Network and Hellfire Radio. So yeah, check those shows out and check out our store. Link is in the show notes, and use the promo code RETRO at checkout, and you'll get 10% off your order. Use the code expires October 31st. And check out our Patreon, patreon.com/Super Retro Podcast. And I'm here every Wednesday.
Cool beans. Powerful right now.
The shadows betray you because they belong to me. Sorry. Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at Brandon's Powers and Instagram at This Brandon Has Powers. You can please join me over at the Powers Combined Facebook group. Our number one rule there is don't be a jerk. We just have a lot of fun sharing geeky memes and info. And I'm here every Wednesday at 9 with Leo and Steve, at least. And who knows what other guests may pop up at any time. And I am also showing up bi-weekly doing a couple of different podcasts. One is Comics Paradox with Leo Pond and Justin Cooper, where we talk about alternate reality story arcs and series from comic books, DC, Marvel, and then eventually other publishers and such as well. And we also do the Dork Night, where we talk about Batman. We read some of the older stuff. We go through the history of the character, and it's a lot of fun. We do that every other week as well. We alternate between those two. Justin on that running the show, as well as Leo. You guys should check them on out. Come on over and have some fun.
Cool beans. And for me, just Google Leo Pond. You find a bunch of stuff. Could be true, could be not. I'm not going to say which is which, but I run a little thing called the Dorkening Podcast Network. Just about 40 shows on a network. And as always, a lot of awesome people doing a lot of awesome stuff. And with that, we'll catch you guys later. Bye.
Bye, everybody.